Business Committee has no business tonight, and so we will meet at the next appropriate time.
I'd like to call Public Works Committee to order at 7 o'clock. I have two motions this evening from the docket of March 21st, 2023. I entertain a motion to transfer $2,500 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 12921-000-524230 Animal Control Maintenance of Vehicles to repair a 2014 Ford F-350.
Second.
Thank you. So this is, you'll have to forgive me, I have some information, but it's a diesel, I guess, which I guess it doesn't seem, is something gonna blow?
It's time to wake up. It's the alarm clock.
I didn't think that was an alarm clock.
It is an alarm clock.
Circa 1970. Anyway, so this is for the emissions. It's a part for the emissions. I guess it's computerized, and if they don't get it fixed, the truck can't go over 30 miles an hour. It's like a speed regulator. I'm looking at you, Peter, but
It shuts down.
yeah.
It's a diesel, and it's got an emissions control that'll shut it down to a certain speed.
I'm sorry, you don't have your things in.
No, I was a little tense. I forgot to get them. I really didn't know what that was, but as you said, it's diesel, so.
Right. And I guess it's computerized,
Yeah.
and it won't allow the truck to go over 30 miles an hour?
Yeah.
It's a brain inside a brain inside a brain. They're unbelievable.
Well, that's pretty much the extent of what I know about it. But anyway, does anybody have any questions?
No, that's enough.
It is unusable if you don't fix it. that's
Right.
for Sure.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $8,042.92 from account 11241-000-578-300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 16301-000-585-012 Recreation New Playground Equipment to purchase a replacement seat and rope for the Briggs Playground zip line and saucer.
Second.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions on this? It's just for the new seat and rope for the zip line.
Keep the camera off me, would you?
So we all set? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And before I adjourn, I'd like to, I have some good news. I don't know if everybody remembers when Mike Tyler came down about the South Ave Parkway project. So, because Mike was so diligent, we are now on the TIP program for 2027 for $6 million for that project. So, if you read it, no, actually, I didn't forward it. I apologize. I should have. I apologize for that. But
What's the gist of it is all, Laura?
what's that?
What's just the gist of it? You don't have to go.
You know that project Mike came down to talk about?
Yeah,
We'll, obviously, it's not a guarantee, but we are on the transportation improvement project. We're on the list for 2027. So basically, if we have all our ducks in a row, which Mike seems to, we will get that money for that project. That's huge.
that's great.
That's
Now
huge.
that's city money? So
No, this is state money, federal money.
I mean, it's
State-
state or federal money coming to us for a city, because the state will be part of that project and the city will have.
Right. And so like we discussed, we do it in conjunction. So they're gonna pay for their, whatever's considered state property.
Yeah.
And we're getting $6 million for our part,
That's awesome.
which is enormous.
Yeah.
So, that's huge news. And so they have all these, words in there that say it's not guaranteed. And the only reason they say that is because, we don't know, as long as the state is solvent and there's no tragedies, we'll get that money. So, big, huge thanks to Mike and his crew for picking up the slack and allowing him to do this work. And he worked really hard on it. And so
That's awesome.
just wanted to report that to everybody. I figured we could use some good news. And that's all I have for Public Works. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:05.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned at 7:05. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Finance Committee to order at 7:05. Sitting on this committee are Councilors Cobus and Councilors Reynolds. I have just two measures before you this evening. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the following loan order. Ordered that $2 million is appropriated for the designing, permitting, bidding, construction, oversight, and construction costs associated with the remodeling.
Public hearing.
We haven't had the public hearing yet.
Oh, the public hearing is March 21st.
Right.
Sorry, and I
I
won't
think
be here,
this one and the next one.
and I won't be here for the public hearing, so that'll be up to you, Councilor Cobus. Strike that, and let's go to the docket of March 21st, 2023. I entertain a motion to appropriate $25,000. Do we have another public hearing?
I think it's the same thing, right?
We
It's
want to
part
hold
of-
those two. Those are both the Willett
Part of the
School
project.
project.
And so, the Finance Committee has no further business to bring before the council this evening. I do want to tell you that we do need to make a movement on the capital improvement plan. And I've written a proposal, and I think I've gotten that to Virginia. There's back and forth there. But I'll get that to you by next week for sure, so that the following week, which would be the 21st, and I won't be here, you can have a discussion. And I will not be here the 28th, so you can vote it out on the 28th. And it would be on time. I am meeting with Mayor DeSimone and the city auditor this Thursday at 2 o'clock to go over the budget, which I have to say is a breath of fresh air to be involved as the finance chair in the budget process that early. And I think that can only have positive impacts here down on the floor. Because if I can see how the thinking is going in to come to what the mayor's budget is coming down to the council, then I think I can give you better perspectives of the options and the choices that are available to you. This is going to be a demanding budget process, and I have faith, just based on the mayor's contribution to the budget message last year, I have faith that this is going to go better than it could. And that's how I'll put it. I think it's going to go much better than it could. So I'm optimistic, very optimistic about the budget, and I'm optimistic about the process. And I'm thrilled to be involved that early. So does anyone else have anything else you want to bring up for the finance? Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the finance committee.
Second?
Motion's in order. All in favor say yes. Yes.
Aye.
I declare the finance committee adjourned at 7:08.
IT and infrastructure's canceled. Traffic and transportation's canceled.
That's what I was gonna ask you. 'Cause
Yes.
I didn't get a message or anything.
Do you have anything?
Zoning and Land Use Committee's canceled this evening. I'd like to call City and Property Complaints Committee to order. 7:08. I have 9 items this evening. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to accept the donation of 15 2022 Massachusetts criminal law textbooks and 6 2022 Massachusetts criminal procedure textbooks from Commonwealth Police Legacy, Inc., with an approximate value of $1,680 to the Attleboro Police Department.
Second.
Thank you. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I have no further questions. Does anyone else have any questions, concerns? Okay, hearing none. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to declare the following Council on Aging printers as surplus and available for disposition: an HP Office Jet for number 4690, an HP Jet Pro 6978, an HP Desk Jet number 1112. They're all inoperable.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I have no further questions. Anyone else? Thank you. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to declare the following Council on Aging furniture as surplus and available for disposition. Chair 1, quantity of 1, it's got a wood frame, maroon cushioning. Chair number 3, there's 18 of them, metal frames with blue padding. Chair number 4, there are 4 of those. They are wood frame with blue cushioning, and there's a desk, quantity of 1, metal frame, wood top, 2 drawers.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions?
Done.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to declare the following recreation vehicle as surplus and available for disposition. A 2003 Ford Ranger. The mileage is 1,005,637, and the VIN number is 105,637. The VIN number is 1FTZR11E F353. Let's start that over. It is a 2003 Ford Ranger. The mileage, it's together, so I get a little messed up here, 105,637 miles. The VIN number is 1FTZR11E53TA32734, and the condition is very poor.
Second.
Thank you. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Any questions or concerns?
None.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to declare the following park and forestry vehicles equipment as surplus and available for disposition. 1 hot dog cart, and the serial VIN number is 1C9BT0716TH376006, and the condition is fair.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Any other questions or concerns?
Only question I have is there's 4 more items on the
Yeah.
next page.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Okay, so going over to the following page, let's take that second.
I withdraw my second.
Thank you. Going to the following page. 2003, you guys are going ahead of yourselves there, going to the next page and seeing that there's more over there. 2003 GMC Sierra 1500 is the model number, and the serial number is 1GTEK14V33E215004. It's in very poor condition. The next one is a 2008 Ford F350. The model is a Super Duty, and the VIN number is 1FTWF31538EA07883, and it is junk. There is 1 Kubota mower. The model is a ZD21, and the VIN number is 1324-3321. It's the frame only. And then we have a Kubota snow blower. The model number is F2400, and the VIN number is 9533719, and that's in poor condition.
Second.
Thank you. Again, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions or concerns?
No.
Thank you. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. From the docket of December 20th, 2022, okay, so for the next couple of things I'm reading, actually 6, 7, 8, and 9, these are all motions that I've held for quite a long time when our former mayor was in office, because, of course, the day after he took office, he told almost all of us that he was leaving to run for another position. So I held most of these to wait for the new mayor to get elected. And I want to be thankful to our president, Jay Delicio, who was helpful and was helpful for me holding these, as well as our now mayor, Kathleen DeSimone, because I thought that it's best that they have a chance to take a look at some of these and be a part of what's going to happen here. Okay, so from the docket of December 20th, 2022, I entertain a motion to adopt Article 97, restriction of the amendments of the Massachusetts Constitution for purposes in perpetuity. Approximately 94 acres of municipal property formerly known as the Highland Country Club, now called Highland Park, currently shown on Assessor Plat number 115, Lot number 1, and Assessor's Plat number 99, Lot number 74, and authorize the city solicitor to prepare a deed restriction complying with Article 97 for recording.
Second.
Thank you. As we said, this came up, we bought this land, we all had really thought that it was going to remain, land for everyone to use and be kind of left as it is. And the next thing you know, everybody's talking about building on there, and that got a little crazy. So I know this came down, and I know that President Jay Delicio has always wanted that to stay a park, as well as Kathleen, our new mayor. So I'm thinking this is really a good thing, and that everybody will be on board and move this forward.
I just have one question.
Yes.
Thank you. So it says 94 acres, so 1 acre would not be included in that? Is that, I'm just wondering.
Well, there is that, there was that section that was divided up earlier, that's about an acre, and I forget, does anybody, I off the top of my head, I don't have the.
Is that where the clubhouse?
Yeah, the clubhouse.
Okay.
That's where the clubhouse is, yeah. And that was already separated and deeded separately, but I think that still has to stay the way that is. I could check that out before we take this out, if you'd prefer.
Well, it's just the only piece
That's the one piece that,
saleable.
the one that's the clubhouse. That's the
Yeah.
only saleable piece, yeah.
To anybody looking to buy something.
That's the only
Other
thing.
than the developer to develop it, you can't
Right.
do that.
You can't do much. So I think we can leave that as is, the reading as is. Is everybody comfortable with that? Thank you. All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you for bringing this out, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on this. There was some concern about whether or not this falls under Article 97 of the Massachusetts Constitution, which the case that we're looking at to ensure that it stays a parkland is Westfield versus Smith versus Westfield. And what that's looking at is if it looks like a park, acts like a park, is used as a park, is it a park? So we just wanted to ensure that we're doing everything we possibly can to ensure that Highland Park stays just that, a park. This would prevent development, this would prevent zoning changes. In the event that, 50, 60, 70 years down the line, there's an opportunity where we need a new school or we need a new municipal building, for instance, we would have to petition the legislature, and it would be 2/3 of the legislature in order to get that change made. So this is just hedging the bet to ensure that the will of what the council was back in 2017, 2018 remains.
So this question is both for Councilor Reynolds and President Delicio. So my understanding is there's about 5.8 acres that are in question around the old country club.
No.
Am I wrong on that? It's around 5 acres anyways.
Well, that was a parcel the former mayor kind of broke up,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Well, if we said yes to this, would that mean that there could be no future senior center there, for example?
No.
Okay.
No,
just wanted to
but what it
clarify
does mean is that before you can do some of that, you do have to request and write into the state.
that. Right.
And, and they make a determination. But I do think that we want to, if we do decide to let something get built in there, we need to really be sure that what we're doing won't promulgate more things getting built in there. So I think that's, if there are other places to build or to refurbish or repurpose, we should think about that. Because, once you open the door, you open it to everybody, quite frankly. But it doesn't mean it can't happen. You see what I mean? I mean, but we do have to then go through the state.
Sarah,
Sure.
can I add?
I'm sorry, I can't see you back there.
No,
Yes.
no worries. So, Council Waterman, thank you for the question. I think what you're talking about was the potential rezone that at the end of last year
Right.
was actually rescinded. As far as municipal buildings, I believe municipal buildings, the senior center being one, would be an eligible use of the land. However, I do know that the chairman of the Municipal Building Commission, Jack Jacoby, is working with the city solicitor to finalize that answer, but that conversation's already started in January.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you for
Are you
your
okay?
answers.
Okay. So all those in favor?
Yes.
Thank you.
Aye.
Aye, that motion passes. From the docket of December 6, 2022, I entertain a motion to strike the July 19th, 2022 request to transfer $1,000 from account 112410000-578380 Citywide Reserve for Capital to account 112410000-599300 Citywide Transfer to Capital Fund, and to further strike that $100,000 from account 112410000-599300 Citywide Transfer to Capital Fund to account 3572-499600 Highland Pavilion, transfer from general fund.
Second?
Thank you. Again, I think this has been sitting here quite a while because, again, I wanted to be sure that everybody that got into their new positions were comfortable with striking this. And at this time, the Highland Pavilion actually is being put on a back burner and will allow the people that are up there to make a decision and send it back down if that's something that they want to do. But this way, the money goes back and decisions are made at the top. Everyone comfortable with that? Sorry.
Thank you for bringing this out. This is something that you and I had spoken about in January, just about the need from the fiscal perspective in terms of the lower levels of free cash that we wanted. I had a conversation Monday with Mayor DeSimone regarding this as well, and she was going to, I know, support this. I believe she sent down a piece of business to have this struck as well, but we ended up canceling the special meeting due to questions that arose about the subject of the special meeting. So I do appreciate the everyone working together on this to get that money back to where we can better use it in these times. So Sarah, thank you for bringing this out.
You're welcome. Thank you for being on board with all this at the same time. Now, there's a second part to this. So additionally, I entertain a motion to strike $800,000 from account 1000-359000, undesignated fund balance, free cash, general government, to fund 3572 Highland Pavilion. And that was the second part.
Second?
Thank you, seconded. That was the second part of moving money, the 100,000 here, let me take 800,000. First it was 900,000. And at this time, I think, again, the money is best put back into the general fund and a decision made. And again, President Delicio, I call him mayor-elect, but President Delicio also was always on board with this happening, and so isn't Mayor DeSimone, so.
Well, I agree with that, first of all. But just so that the public also understands that adopting the previous motion about the Article 97 restriction would make this a moot point. We wouldn't be.
Well,
voting.
you could, but you wouldn't know it would be there. Yeah, it's not really moot. Did you want to say something?
It's your committee.
No, but would you like to say something?
No, I don't believe that it would have.
No,
But
I don't think it would.
regardless, this is less about that piece of it. It's more about getting
Off the books.
returning the funds, so it can be better used to ensure that the city has the finances needed and available in order to get through the rest of the fiscal year.
That's
I mean,
fine.
you would still make it the park, but nonetheless, you want to make sure that money's going back to.
Right,
where it
I
was.
understand.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
That motion passes. Now, this might be exactly the same, I've had it in here, and part of it is, similar to what we've just read, but from the docket of August 16th, 2022, I entertain a motion to strike $100,000 from account 1124100-578380 Citywide Reserve for Capital to account 1124100-599300 Citywide Transfer to Capital Fund, and to transfer further that $100,000 from account 1124100-599300 Citywide Transfer to Capital Fund to account 3572-599600 Highland Pavilion, transfer 499, what'd I say? Five. Transfer to Capital Fund to account 3572-499600 Highland Pavilion, dash transfer from general fund.
Second?
Thank you. Again, I think that's almost, that was the first one that came out in August, sat there. New one came out in December, which we just read, that says basically the same thing as this, but added more stuff to it, took the 800,000 that was still floating around. So best to strike them all, get them off the books, and the only thing that stays on there is to adopt Article 97.
Sarah, if I may.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Thanks. That was, if you remember, in June when this was discussed at I believe it was a committee of the whole or a public meeting. The request was made, I made the request of the former mayor for the design and engineering, which we were told that we never did, which I think was later disproven. And that's what this $100,000 was for. That's why that came down first, and then subsequently the 800,000 came down. So at this point, we'll be able to send 900,000 back to free cash.
Yep. Everybody understand how it all falls into place? And no other questions, concerns?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, that motion passes. And then the last one I have, from the docket of April 19th, 2022, I entertain a motion to declare the Academy Building located at 28 Sanford Street, specifically Plat 31, Lot 19C, as surplus and available for disposition.
Second?
Thank you. As some of you may remember, we had the historical committee in here, and they talked about wanting to take over that building. They gave their reasons why and all the work they had done for it. And at the time, I think all of us were in favor of it. Certainly, Council President Jay DeLisio was in favor of it, as well as our new Mayor Kathleen DeSimone, and they both have had, will continue to have discussions about this. But we're feeling comfortable, I believe, that the Historical Commission will in time end up taking over control of this building. Is that, I see you looking quizzical, Ty.
No, I'm just trying to fully understand it. So when we say available for disposition, as you're saying, as I
Yeah,
understand
it has to
you
go, yeah.
that would still allow the historical commission.
Yes, I mean, I know the way it reads, it sounds
Right, the way it
confusing, but,
reads,
yeah,
yes.
but it has to go that way
Yep.
before anything else can happen with it. I mean, I held it because, again, I wanted to be sure that, the new administration has an opportunity to work within this perimeter and make the things happen that they want to happen. And I think that as a council, we all feel pretty much the same about how the building should be taken care of. I don't think
Well,
we're in
I agree
disagreement.
with the
Yeah.
ultimate purpose.
Purpose of it, that's
Yes.
right. Any other, sorry, are you ready?
Yeah, so Council Waterman, it's a good question, and I appreciate you raising it. Council Reynolds and I met with then City Solicitor Amara back in November, December, about the best and most methodical way in order to achieve the goal of getting it to the Historical Commission, and this was the best way to go about it. So we have to disposition it, so then it's not city property, and it puts us in a better position to have another mechanism available in order to be able to assist them in ascertaining the process, the property, rather.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're all in favor of that.
Sure.
Sorry, so I know, I just want to make sure because I'm big with historical buildings. So the thought process is that once we do this, the administration is going to work with the Historical
Yes.
Commission to confirm that.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes.
preserve.
And preserve, yes. Yes, we're all on the same page with that. But the only way it can start to happen is to move it out. But I didn't want to move it out under the former administration. I wanted to move it out under the people that I know were going to move it forward in a position that will help us and help them. Is that good? Everybody on board? All those in
Yes.
favor?
Aye.
And that motion passes. And that is all the business City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. I would like to call for an adjournment.
Second?
Thank you. And I would like to adjourn at 7:29.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned at 7:29.
There is, Personnel Veterans and Human Services Committee is canceled for tonight, call for a meeting at next available time.
Last but not least, Public Safety Emergency Management called to order at 7:29. I have one motion to bring out this evening. Pretty straightforward. I entertain a motion to transfer $1,750 from account 1300100-519110 education allowance closing to account 1300100 excuse me, -558310 education uniforms for new crossing guards.
Second.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We've got new crossing guards coming over, and we've got to do the uniforms, bring it up to date. Any questions, comments? We all set?
Are you looking at me?
It's,
Anybody?
No.
You look
Me.
confused.
No, I'm not on your committee, so
No,
that's
I'm
why I'm
just
not saying.
looking around.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Thanks. I didn't know if you were looking at me or Rick.
No, I just, you look like you had a question to ask, and I didn't want to shut you off.
No, thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you very much. Move to adjourn,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned at 7:31.
I'd like to call ordinances, elections, and legislative matters committee to order at 7:31. Sitting on this committee are myself, Councilor Holmes, and President Delicio. We need to get President Delicio back out here. From the docket of March 21st. I'm sorry, maybe you can't be in on, yeah, you can be on this. From the docket of March 21st, 2023, I entertain a motion to hold a special election on March 14th to fill the unexpected at-large council position vacated by Kathleen DeSimone in accord with the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro as amended.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Holmes. So, if we entertain this motion tonight, the earliest election date for the new council will be May 16th. And that's because the city council needs to pass this next week in the full meeting. And then there has to be a period of time for them to go out and get signatures, and there has to be a period of time to get those certified, and a minimum of 35 days from the date of certification to the election day. So it's basically 9 weeks from council approval, and the mail-in period would be approximately 3 weeks, which is sufficient. So I would highly encourage the passage of this motion. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? Yes, Councilor Copus.
Did you say May 16th as the date for
Yep.
the election?
Yep.
My understanding based on the email was that it was if we acted on March 14th, meaning if we voted on March 14th. So,
So
meaning if we voted out of the
it's
full.
gonna be a week later, May
Right,
23rd.
so I would assume
Yeah.
if we voted out next week, that would be March 21st, so we would want the election date to be May 23rd.
May 23rd,
If
correct.
that's okay.
That's correct.
That's my understanding of what we received from the election.
So I should amend the motion to hold a special election on May 23rd.
Second.
Thank you. Now we got that straight. Thank you, Councilor Copus. It's a process. Motion's in order. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. We'll hold the stormwater management ordinance for Councilor Bennett's return. And we'll hold the changes to the municipal council rules and procedure, because I think I have more to add to that. And we'll hold the Sustainability Commission for Councilor Bennett, because she's working on that. And we'll hold the mayor being the chair of the school committee for Councilor Bennett to return. So we have a full committee on that. And I'm just looking through the agenda here, just to make sure that, we're not letting anything go.
Well, those public hearings are all on the 21st, the stormwater management.
Yeah, yeah, we have public hearings coming up on them, so can't do anything on them anyway. So I would say that concludes the business that ordinances, elections, and legislative matters has to bring before the committee this evening. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Let me just make a note here. Second Holmes passes unanimously. And I declare the committee closed at 7:35, but I have to call to order the special committee. Let me sign this. Committee on Tax, because I have something to discuss with you about that. I'd like to call a special committee for tax abatement to order at 7:35. Sitting on this committee are myself, Councilor Waterman, and Councilor Bennett. And the reason why I've called this is to have a discussion that the only measure that's left open in special committee for tax abatement review is for the city to adopt a means-tested senior program, and for us to increase the amount of exemptions on the Clause 41C to $700. Right now in the legislature, the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers has introduced 2 bills to the state legislature on both subjects. One is to make the exemption on 41C, which is the senior exemption on real estate taxes, to be able to go to $2,000. Now, that has to pass the committee for a recommendation to pass. It has to go into the legislature, it has to pass the Senate, it has to be signed by the governor. It's very possible in this legislative environment that could happen quickly. However, even if it happens quickly, the amount of money that would deduct from the budget comes out of the assessor's overlay. And the assessor's overlay at this time, if they all went to $2,000, the assessor's overlay at this time couldn't handle that. So it would not only empty the assessor's overlay, but the assessor would have to come to the council to appropriate additional money to put into the overlay to be able to pay the $2,000 on the exemptions. Got that? On the other one, the senior means testing program, that ties the senior exemption on real estate taxes to what's called a circuit breaker, and the circuit breaker is a governor's figure appointed limit for seniors that don't have to pay Massachusetts state income taxes. Right now, that level is at $54,000 and change. The governor has said 2 weeks ago that she wants to double that to $160,000. Well, if that happens, the ramifications to our budget is huge, because I don't think many seniors in the city of Attleboro make $160,000 a year. So no one's going to be paying Massachusetts taxes over age 65 in the city of Attleboro if that goes through. But the consequences to our budget, again, are huge, because that's our levy that we're talking about. The money that comes in is only the money that we can spend. So while the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers has recommended to the legislature that they pass a senior means tested program for all cities and towns to be able to adopt without having to go to the legislature for a home rule exemption, which takes a lot of time. If it goes through and that becomes law and we can adopt just a local option, we still have the issue of whether or not there's money there at $160,000 for a senior exemption. It's a lot of money. So the Special Committee for Tax Abatement Review is not expected to report to the council again in a very long time, because there's too much going on and I wanted to explain that to you. So with that, it concludes my comments. Does anyone have any questions or comments? It's because I explained it so clearly.
Yeah, so clearly, but I think
Yes, Mr. President Delizio.
No, thank you for bringing this out, because I know that there's been a lot of talk about this recently, and I think the approach to kind of sit back and watch the play develop a little bit is the right play. I know I've spoken with City Assessor Julie Hobson about this a couple different times, as well as State Rep Hawkins and State Senator Feeney. I think there's probably value at the appropriate time to bring the assessor in, see if state reps and state senator will come in and kind of partner with them a little bit and see how we can get this thing appropriately across the finish line.
Yes, that's a better alternative than putting in a motion to strike this and closing the special committee for tax and abatement of review, because there are still these two measures
Right.
which are likely to occur. And I am all for getting Jim Hawkins at that podium on a regular basis. And I would do anything to get that done, and that concludes my comments. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Well, could I ask a
Oh,
question?
certainly, you may, yes.
So one thing, did I hear you say anything about also the motion, possible motion to change from 70 to 65, which would add a lot of people in, too?
If the Massachusetts State Legislature designs the new law the way it's been presented, we would have to go to a home rule exemption to change it down to 60. So that would be another long process. Now, so what I'm saying is that if the Massachusetts Legislature adopts the suggested law from the Massachusetts Association of Assessing Officers, all city and towns need to do is simply take a local option and adopt it, and it's done. If, however, you want to make it more broader and drop it from 65 to 60, then you're going to have to go for a home rule exemption through the state legislature and go through that process.
But right now, it's at 70.
Right now, it's at 70, yes. Yep. So,
Well, I wasn't going to propose 60, but I would be interested in finding out the ramifications if we went to 65.
well, with the new census information, it's rather easy to develop those figures. And I did them in Taunton, and it's shocking. And it's nice to have fresh data from the census. So, entertain a motion to adjourn, and I'll take a second.
I will second that.
Thank you, Councilor Waterman. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, and I declare the Special Committee on Tax Abatement Review adjourned at 7:42.
I still have the special committee on mine, too. Before we cancel that meeting, I just want to say thank you, Vice President Cobus, for filling in admirably for President Delicio as being acting mayor. Did a great job, and thank you very much. And thank you, President Delicio, for coming back. We appreciate your leadership, and we need it, and thank you, and we take you back with open arms.
Thank
So
you, Mike.
thank you very much.
And certainly thank you to Todd, you did a great job.
Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
our acting VP, Blair.
Sorry
Exactly.
you can't say that.
Yeah. And my apologies.
No, that's all you
VP
can't, I
Blair.
never was.
In my mind, you were.
Thank you.
So, all right. So, Special Committee on Classification Compensation is canceled for evening, and we call for a meeting at the next available time. Thank you.
Nice work tonight, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.